Hello guys and welcome back to Aquatic Life and Theme Parks. In today's video I'm going to be talking about what is the actual future for Chessington World of Adventures and its zoo. So over the last few weeks Chessington World of Adventures have put in planning applications for animal movements and also putting animals into different places around the resort, and I'm all going to be talking about that in today's video, and then at the end telling you what I think the future of the zoo is going to be. So let's start off with the Lorikeet project. So the Lorikeet project is a new free bird flying enclosure being built in the Wyamba village where the greater flamingos are, and it's going to be housed to the original rainbow lorikeets alongside several wide free flying birds and the Australian pigeon. And the rainbow lorikeets have been at the park since Wild Asia opened back in 2010 and then is now closed due to the potential Minecraft area and the construction rapidly starting for 2027. Now, they are proposing a brand new Lorikeet Lagoon to be located in the Wyamba village and replacing the Greater Flamingo enclosure. Now, that Greater Flamingo enclosure is so densely planted and so densely vegetated that you really cannot see the greater flamingos apart from on Zufari. It's kind of a hit and miss sort of situation. You'll walk past, you'll drive past in the truck of Zufari, you may see them, you may not. It's really a sort of one in only chance that you will see them. Now, there is obviously the rhino hideout and obviously the greater flamingo house. Now, the rhino hideout is playing a key and crucial part in this project. They are going to be planning to split the rhino hideout in half, keeping one half the rhino hideout to look out on the rhino reserve and one half being the nectar shop so you can feed the lorikeets and obviously the other free flying birds. They're planning a beautiful indoor, replacing the greater flamingos indoor area and replacing it with a beautiful building for the lorikeets. Now, obviously, this is all back of house section, so you won't see where the keepers go in and out, but you might do, but you won't see where the keepers go in and out. But a beautiful building, obviously all themed around Africa. This looks very African themed. It looks like they're going down the route of theming it all into the Wyamba village, using the colours of tiles that look like the rainbow lorikeets sort of feathers, and that's all in the concept art that is on your screen right now. Along that, there is going to be lakes, like the ponds that used to be there in the old Lorikeet Lagoon, obviously calling it Lorikeet Lagoon. So there are going to be lakes and ponds where you are going to be able to pretty much see the lorikeets fly over, obviously maybe into a few plants or bushes or obviously on that ledge. I also heard that they are going to be doing keeper talks again, so there is going to be a space for a keeper to stand there and give you talks on the rainbow lorikeets. I think this project is an amazing project. They're not just getting rid of their animals and moving them to a different collection in the UK or in the world. They are keeping their original animals, which are the rainbow lorikeets, and moving them to the other side, to the back of the park where Wyamba Village is, and theming it, and not just putting a random enclosure there. They're theming it into the Wyamba Village and the theming, sort of African theming around that area. So on to more animal movements with the Yoo-Hoo Zoo. So obviously earlier this year the Yoo-Hoo Zoo and half of Mexicana did close due to the new Paw Patrol area being built. Now that is being built up rapidly for 2026, and when I say rapidly, there are already footers and for the coaster and for some of the rides being seen in the construction area. Now obviously the Yoo-Hoo Zoo animals, which housed owls, ferrets, donkeys, sheep, goats, rabbits and pigs, all have been moved out and have obviously been taken down off the website on Chessington's zoo website. Now that the owls have been moved along the pathway leading up towards Zufari, it's either the pathway near Croc Drop and Rattlesnake or the pathway going round through Amazoo. Now obviously the owls have been built brand new enclosures. They're sort of wooden enclosures, but has got enough space to house owls, and they are going to be viewed, well, they are being viewed right now. The park has released photos from on their socials, but obviously other creators and content creators have taken photos of the owls and the main shacks. They have obviously been all put up around the Safari area leading up towards Safari. Now I don't know if that's in the picnic area or if that's actually on the path leading up towards Safari. A lot of people are saying leading up to Safari, but I'm wondering maybe because it's sort of a hill going up that sort of ramp, they have been placed in that picnic area where the Halloween scarecrow sort of maze was there, but also a picnic area behind Croc Drop. Now obviously it's really great to see that Chessington has moved the owls to the other side of the park, and yet again to the back of the park where Amma Zoo, Wyamba Village, and obviously most of the sea life stands, obviously where the hotels are as well. The miniature donkey as well has been moved where the Ankal cattle paddock is, where the main reserve looks out onto the Safari Hotel. The Ankal cattle go into the night in this sort of back wooded area where the Wyamba Village stands, and you can view them from the Wyamba Village. What I think they've done is they've moved the Ankal cattle housing up towards where the zebras and antelopes sleep for the night and go in for the night, and that's their indoor housing, and has moved the miniature donkey and maybe the goats down to the Ankal cattle. I only saw a picture of the miniature donkey, didn't see a picture of the goats. I don't know if the goats have been moved to a different collection, same with the rabbits, same with the pigs, and also same with the ferrets. I'm not too sure where they have gone. Maybe they've been moved to a different collection, or maybe they are still in the park. Obviously, the goats might be with the miniature donkey. The ferret, rabbits, and sheep, and even the ferrets, they're probably not staying there. They've probably been moved on to a different collection. So what are my thoughts on this whole animal movement, and what is the future really for Chessington World of Adventures Zoo? So my thoughts, I think half these projects, the Lorikeet project, the animal movement project, are really good for the park. I think they really do want to keep their aspect on the zoo. Obviously 1931 was when Chessington Zoo opened, and then it moved into that theme park stage. So they really want to keep their heritage and history going for quite a number of years. Now there is sort of a pattern with this sort of animal movement project. It's kind of all moving back to the park, so where Amma Zoo is and also where the Wyamba Village is. So I could definitely see these two key parts play a massive role, and these two key areas play a massive role. Obviously Amma Zoo are home to raccoons, skunks, monkeys, penguins are in that section as well. So obviously that's a very heavily animal dense area. Trail of the Kings and Land of the Tigers though, on concept art that the park, or obviously concept art that someone has gotten hold of, has had two red lines around that area. That means that it's soon going to be leaving the park. There is a bit of speculation, a bit of theory, and a bit of rumours. Now I'm not saying that this has came from the park, that they're going to be ripping out Land of the Tigers, ripping out Trail of the Kingdoms. I'm not saying that. Speculation is going around that Trail of the Kings, and Land of the Tigers are being removed, and this is just because the Amu tigers in Land of the Tigers are obviously elderly, and they're also near a very loud construction site. You've got to remember that, where diggers and bulldozers and everything are there making a bunch of racket. The reason why I think they want to remove a Land of the Tigers maybe in the next 5 years or in the foreseeable future is to make an expansion on the potential Minecraft area. Not taking out the log flume. I wouldn't want to see them take out the log flume, which is obviously right now Tiger Rock. Maybe in the next few years, or the foreseeable future, we'll be seeing a joint with Wild Asia, or this potential Minecraft area, and Land of the Tigers join together, because once you take away that tiger enclosure, that first tiger enclosure as you walk in, and obviously Cobra's not going to be standing there anymore, it makes a nice massive park, a massive themed area, obviously for Chessington to make a sort of log flume theme to Minecraft, which would be really, really cool. But that's obviously speculation from me. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Trail of the Kings though, that's a very outdated part of the park. It's looking very, very ran down. Last time I went in there a few months ago, February, it's really, really ran down. The amount of theming and the amount of paint that is just peeling off of the walls that they're themed in is ferocious. And obviously in Land of the Tigers as well, the paint is peeling off, and that's really been happening over these last few years, maybe from about 2023 to the beginning of 2024. The paint is just peeling off. Really, really sad to see that Chessington is not really looking after the areas. Now obviously Trail of the Kings are home to gorillas, lions, servals, red foxes, a bunch of different animals. And I think the red foxes will be moved to Amazoo because that's where the raccoons and skunks are. And a few other animals will be moved maybe to Amazoo if they were going to take out Trail of the Kings. The lions and the gorillas though, and the tigers, that's a massive, they need massive amounts of land to keep. Unless they do expansion going towards past the reserve, I wouldn't see that happening. But unless they did in the next few years, that would be really great. Obviously walking, maybe building an extra extension bridge, walking across the sort of reserve where you're looking out across the hotel. But that would really ruin the view. But then I think they're just going to move the tigers, gorillas and lions to a different collection. I know the gorillas, Portland Zoo and Howlett Zoo, located in Kent, have a massive Western Lowland gorilla troop that are planning to pretty much be rewild slowly but surely back into the wild. But I don't think Chessington's going to come out in the next few years saying we're taking away all of our animals, we're not having a zoo anymore, it's all going to go to theme parks. But let me know what you think down in the comments section below. That's what I think, but I want to hear what you think, and hopefully you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, you may have other ideas. But that's what I think the future of the zoo at Chessington is going to hold. Join me in the next few days as I'll be at Legoland Windsor Resort. Stay aquatic everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.